hope you're all having a wonderful day today. Today I'm going to be showing you guys 13 of the holiday palettes that I have purchased so far. Perfect for Friday the 13th. And I wanted to tell you guys which ones I regret buying and which ones I don't regret buying, which ones I like. So I guess that's what we're doing today. So I will get a bit into it. Let's start off with the stuff that I am not down with. First, I'm going to start off with this one, and there's nothing wrong with the product or anything. I am just kind of ticked at how they kind of ripped us off. So this one right here is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit, and it is $80. And what this is, it has 3 of the ambient lighting powders, 2 blushes and 1 bronzer. So this is what it looks like, okay? And the pans are pretty small. And here is last year's thingy right here. And if we look at them next to each other, you can see that the pan size is quite a bit different. And so I did some math here and I took into account, I looked on Sephora's website, and these have a different, and the singles, these ones right here have a different amount of ounces than the blushes, and the blushes are different than the bronzers and all that. So I calculated everything, and this right here has a value of $48.06. $48.06, and they charged us $80. On Sephora's website, they came up with some amount like value of 150 or something like that, and I have no idea where they're getting that value from, because these are 0.049 ounces each. And then like if you do all of it, this is 0.29 ounces total. One of their blushes is 0.15, one of their lighting powders is 0.35, and one bronzer is 0.39. So you're getting less product in here than one of their bronzers or one of their lighting powders. Where's the $150 value? Please tell me. If one of you guys know, then let me know, because this, I came up with $48.06. End rant. That is why I don't think this one is worth it, and so there's that one. Alright, the second thing that I regret buying is the Tarte Light of the Party palette. This one is $59. I know that tastes and stuff are subjective, but this one right here, first of all, I don't really like the packaging. I'm not a big fan of sequiny stuff, and just the design of it is kind of weird to me. Secondly, it's pretty bulky. It's a very bulky palette for the stuff that comes in here. Third of all, as you can see, this top palette always falls out of it. And fourth of all, let me take this out so it doesn't collapse here. Fourth of all, there's a good amount of shades here, but there's nothing in here that's kind of wow to me. I know there are a lot of you who really enjoy neutral shadows and stuff like that, so y'all might enjoy it more than I did. But there are also so many shades in here that just kind of lacked pigmentation, in my opinion. I would swatch them out and they were kind of sheer. If you pack them on and stuff, you know, you could get a good color payoff, but they're pretty sheer for my shadow liking. So like the quality wasn't 100%. The bulkiness of this and the design just really not worth the $59 in my opinion to me. I know there are some of you who got this and y'all enjoyed it, and that's fine and dandy, but to me, nah, I could have passed on it. Next on my list of things I wish I did not spend my money on would be the Too Faced Legrand Palette palette here. It was so cute that I could not resist getting it. And you see, I mean, just look at this presentation. It's just perfection. But then you get onto the shadows. I think in my swatch video, I mentioned how about, I think, 5 or 6 of them maybe were kind of sheer. And I didn't know if it was intentional or not, because I had not had a lot of time to play around with it. Like the entire bottom row, almost right here, all came off sheer, and then there were a couple over here around the top that were also. And once I started like trying to pack them onto my lid, it just required so much effort to really, oh, my phone. It took a lot of effort to really layer it, and I mean, it works fine if you have Too Faced glitter glue or something else like that, but you do have to go that extra step. And for $59, I think you probably shouldn't have to work that hard to make something which should work perfectly. What did I just say? I think I said what I meant to say. There were shades in this palette that worked well and looked nice and pretty on the eyes, and the blushes and stuff worked well too, but to have 5 or 6 shadows that you really have to work with is just, I would have rather saved my money on and spent it on something else instead. At least it's cute. And that ends my regrets. 3 out of 13, not so bad. Next, I'm going to be talking about the 2 palettes that Urban Decay has come out with. Neither of these are regrets, but I guess I'll let you know which one I would rather choose out of the 2 of these if I had to make a choice between the 2. So Urban Decay came out with 2 palettes for the holiday season. There's the Vice 4 palette, and then there's the Urban Spectrum palette. The Vice 4 palette has the coolest design, I think. Just look at it. This is fantastic. And here is what the shadows look like. According to Urban Decay, they said that they were inspired by oil slicks for like the design and the colors of this palette. And then there's the Urban Spectrum palette, which this is what it looks like. It's all nice and pretty. And there are the shades in this one. I think out of the 2, the one that I have been reaching for a lot more would be the Urban Spectrum palette. I just really like the color choices in this one and how it's kind of like a gradient of colors on each row. I think that's really helpful for people who don't necessarily know how to maybe pair up shadows or just don't really want to think about how to pair them up and stuff. This is easy. You can just use these 3 or these 3 or these 3. You know, everything is just most of these colors all go really well together. So I really like this one. I like the colors in this one a lot. So this one is a lot of fun to play with. Now this one, there's not really anything wrong with it, just the colors aren't as appealing to me as the other one, and the design of how the colors are arranged and stuff. So that's my choice out of these 2. And here we have the Lorac Mega Pro 2 palette. This year they made it a lot easier to acquire. Last year was just a nightmare. I went to Ulta the other day and they had a significant number in stock, so that's good. So here we have 32 shades here, and you have a variety of colors. I know some people were complaining, saying that there were a lot of light colors, but I really appreciate the light colors they have. There are different tones and different finishes. You have the shimmers and then you have the mattes, and there are different tones in each of them. Like, I can't stand when I'm trying to do a look and I need the highlighter and it's just not the right color for the highlight. You know, sometimes you want one that looks more warm, sometimes you want one that looks more cool. So I don't know. I think the color selection is good. And if you're familiar with Lorac's eyeshadow formula, this is the same. They work well, they blend easily, they do kick up a lot of powder, they do have a lot of fallout, so there's that. And next, we have the Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca Remix palette, and this one is one of the more fun, colorful palettes for the holidays. So whenever I saw this one, I was like, yes, I need it. I like colors. And these are the shadows that I have on my eyes right now. Out of all of these shades, you can see there are quite a bit. I think there are only about 2 in here that gave me that were a bit harder to work with. So that wasn't a big deal to me. I did a tutorial using this palette, and I think I used like a lot of the red, orange, and yellow shades in there. And if you watched it, you could probably see how easily the colors blend together, and that's really important, especially when you have this many colors. So yeah, you can create fun, colorful looks with that, and that is what I like. So this palette right here was right up my alley, and the packaging is so pretty, and it comes with this cool how-to sheet that shows you how to make all those different looks and stuff. So I just really like this one. I'm having a lot of fun with all the colors. I love colors. Did I already say that I like colors? So yeah, on my good list. And now for a more toned down palette here, we have the Anastasia Self-Made palette. I just did a swatch video of it the other day, but this one has a good range of colors, I think. Some people pointed out that, you know, they only had 2 mattes, which, you know, there are a lot of people who like more mattes versus shimmers, or I guess it would just make sense to have, you know, maybe kind of a equal-ish amount of matte versus shimmer, but I love shimmers, so that didn't bother me. So I'm really enjoying this palette. I like the variety of colors. I like how, you know, they were nice and pigmented and stuff, and I think this palette, out of all of her palettes so far, this one is the best because of the color choices and how well the shadows perform. I know in some of her past ones there have been some shadows that have just been kind of iffy and kind of hard to work with and stuff, so this one was a pleasant surprise. I've been using this one quite a bit too, so yay! Purchase well made or well spent. Ha! Alright guys, and can you guess which eyeshadow palette topped my list? It is the Makeup Forever 15 Artist Shadow Palette. For those of you who have been following me for a while, you'll probably know by now that I am just obsessed with these eyeshadows. Their formula, they're so good. Sometimes I go on Sephora and I see the reviews on them, and some people give them not so great reviews, and it makes me sad because I think maybe they're using them wrong. These do require a different technique to use them than normal eyeshadows do. I think you have to put kind of a bit more pressure, and I find it works best if you use a brush versus your fingertips and stuff, so, and a swiping motion rather than a patting motion. These are like a gel formula, so they're not powder, so you can't just go like this and they end up on your fingers, see barely anything at all. But if you like push down on them a bit, there it is, it's nice and beautiful. Whee! So yeah, this one, like I said, requires different handling and stuff, but once you get the hang of it, guys, they're just the best. I like the variety of, now I don't know what to do with this finger. I like the variety of colors in this one. There are some fun colors that you can play with, and then there are also some more neutral shades where you can just do, you know, everyday looks with them. But once again, this palette is kind of lacking mattes. There's actually not a single matte shadow in here, so it would have been nice if they would have thrown in a matte or two or three, at least one. But like I said, I love, love, love the formula of these things. They're so pigmented and pretty, and this one tops my list. Now I'm just gonna go wash this off. Now let's get into face stuff. I don't know why this means face, but obviously it does, face. So anyway, here is the Becca and Jaclyn Hill Champagne Glow palette, and this one right here is just so beautiful. I've been using these colors quite a bit, and they just, I mean, they work well. They're nice and pigmented and stuff, and I just don't really have anything bad to say about them. I know that this color right here looks really bright, and I don't know, like on my skin tone, I blended it in. You can't even tell really that it's like a white highlighter. It just goes in really nicely, and just, it's just a nice sparkly glow. In my swatch video of this, you can see, because I had it on, and it's not really like bright or too light on my skin or anything, so I really like this. And then here is her Afterglow palette, and I'm really enjoying this one. My only complaint is the pan sizes. They're pretty tiny, but that's okay. It's a nice sampler, I think, to kind of get a feel for her oh my gosh, to get a nice feel of her blushes and of her highlighter. So it's just a nice sampler, so you can really see what her stuff is all about. If you're new to it, I think this is a great thing to pick up to see if you do want to invest in a full-size thing. So that's why I really like this one. Once again, they're nice and pigmented, and they blend beautifully, and they're just wonderful. You want to look like you're glowing? You will look like you're glowing. I just picked this one up at the Sephora sale. Look how sparkly it is. So anyway, this is the Tarte Bling It On palette, and this one has 5 different blush shades in it, and as we can expect from Tarte blushes, they're beautiful, they work great, they're nice and pigmented, and they blend, and they're just, I can't say enough good things about them. There's a nice variety of colors here, and they all worked really well on my skin tone. They looked real pretty, so this one I like, and I got it for 20% off, so you can't complain with that. And lastly, we have the Nars and Stephen Klein, what's it called, One Shocking Moment palette. I think out of the face palettes, this one right here is my favorite because, first of all, the design of it I think is just really cool and really pretty, and it just, you can tell it's high quality, I think, by the way it's packaged and the heft of it and stuff. And then you open it up, it has a big old mirror, and then you have not only blushes, but you have a big old Laguna bronzer, which I always use because my forehead is always darker than this part. So whenever I put on foundation, my whole face being the same color, I'm just like, that's not right. So I always go in, and this one is what I always use as a bronzer to kind of warm up my face a bit. So I'm glad I have a big size of that there. Then there are 2 contour shades here in case you feel like you're contouring, and then 4 blushes. I know that like 2 years ago their Nars blush palette was not as pigmented, but I didn't know because I hadn't really used Nars before, so I had that one and I liked it. You know, I didn't know that it wasn't as good as their other ones. So then whenever I went to try this one, I got my blush brush and dipped it in there and put it on my cheeks. I was using it as I used the last ones, thinking that, you know, that's how hard I had to use it, and that's how, and I was just like, streak, and I was like, well, these ones are quite a bit more pigmented. So yeah, these are nice and pigmented, and once again, they blend easily and they look nice and pretty. I think I actually have this color. I have, yeah, that color on my cheeks right now, but I put my makeup on probably about 10 hours ago, so it's probably not there quite as well. But anyway, you have 4 blushes, you have contours, and you have a bronzer, so you have everything you need for your face on here. Big mirror, nice design. This one tops my face palette list. So anyway, guys, those were my holiday items that I've gotten so far. I also did get Legrand Chateau palette because I saw that one has good reviews versus Legrand Palette. I haven't had a chance to play with it yet though, but I have high hopes for it after seeing the reviews and stuff, so we shall see. But anyway, guys, yeah, this is my holiday collection so far, and thank goodness for the most part, I'm really enjoying all the purchases I made. Woohoo! Too bad for the ones that aren't so great. But anyway, do you guys own any of these palettes, and which ones are your favorites and which ones are you most excited about? Also, if any of you guys are shopping the Sephora VIB sale, what things are you thinking about picking up? I want to know. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this, please thumbs up. Please subscribe if you have not already. That would be just wonderful. What was wonderful? I would really appreciate it. And yeah, share the video, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I guess I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Hello everybody, hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Today I'm going to be showing you guys 2 of the new Colourpop holiday sets. I say new, but they just released even more of their holiday stuff today, even though I just got this one last week. But anyway, these are the